Reported speech. Direct and indirect speech. In direct speech we repeat the original speaker's exact words and are placed between inverted commas. He said, "I have lost my umbrella." Direct. Amr said to me, "I'm traveling in my car today." Direct. She said to me, "Close this window." Direct. In indirect speech we tell somebody else what a person said before, without using the speaker's exact words. He said that he had lost his umbrella. Indirect. Amr told me that he was traveling in his car that day. Indirect. She ordered me to close that window. Indirect. Reporting statements. 1. The introductory verb. Direct. Indirect. Say. Says. Said. Say. Says. Said. Have said. Has said. Have said. Has said. Will say. Will say. Say to. Says to. Said to. Tell. Tells. Told. Have said to. Has said to. Have. Has told. Will say to. Will tell. 3. Pronouns. In reported speech, you often have to change the pronoun depending on who says what. Direct. Indirect. She said, I, my, me. She said, that, she, her, her. He said, I, my, me. He said, that, he, his, him. He said, we, our, us. He said, that, they, their, them. 4 tenses. Simple present, simple past. Present continuous, past continuous. Simple past, past perfect, simple. Present perfect, past perfect. Past continuous, past perfect, continuous. Present perfect, continuous, past perfect, continuous. Will. Shall. Can. May. Must. Would. Should. Could. Might. Had to. Here. So. This. These. There. Thus. That. Those. Now. Ago. Today. Tonight. Then. Before. That day. That night. Tomorrow. The following day. Next year. The next year. The following year. Yesterday. The day before. The previous day. Yesterday morning. The previous morning. The day before yesterday. 2 days before. Earlier. In 1 hour. 1 hour later. The day after tomorrow. In 2 days, time. Last week. The week before. / the previous week. Hani said, I like pay best. Direct. Hani said, that, he liked pay best. Indirect. Heba said, Adele told me the truth. Direct. Heba said, that, Adele had told her the truth. Indirect.
He said, my parents want me to be a doctor. Direct. He said that his parents wanted him to be a doctor. Indirect. They said, we went swimming with our friends. Direct. They said they had gone swimming with their friend. Indirect. He said, I am happy. Direct. He said that he was happy. Indirect. He said, I'm looking for my keys. Direct. He said that he was looking for his keys. Indirect. He said, I visited New York last year. Direct. He said that he had visited New York the previous year. Indirect. He said, I've lived here for a long time. Direct. He said that he had lived there for a long time. Indirect. He said, I was playing when the phone rang. Direct. He said that he'd been playing when the phone rang. Indirect. He said, I have been playing football for 2 hours. Direct. He said that he had been playing football for 2 hours. Indirect. He said, I will open the door. Direct. He said that he would open the door. Indirect. He said, I can do it. Direct. He said he could do it. Indirect. He said, she must apply for the job. Direct. He said that she had to apply for the job. Indirect. He said, she is coming this week. Direct. He said that she was coming that week. Indirect. Zayed said to me, we are traveling tonight. Direct. Zayed told me that they were traveling that night. Indirect. She said, I have already seen Carol today. Direct. She said that she had already seen Carol that day. Indirect. He said, you don't know my language. Direct. He said that I didn't know his language. Indirect. Tenses don't change. If the introductory verb is at present, say, says, say to, has said, have said, will say. He says, the train has just arrived. Direct. He says that the train has just arrived. Indirect. Rainier says, I will travel to London. Direct. Rainier says that she will travel to London. Indirect. He says, I write poems. Direct. He says that he writes poems. Indirect. Frank said, my sister is a secretary. Direct. Frank said that his sister is a secretary. Indirect. He told us, the sun rises in the east. Direct. He told us that the sun rises in the east. Indirect. Ali said to Rami, the earth is round. Direct. Ali told Rami that the earth is round. Indirect. He said, if my children were older, I would emigrate. Direct. He said that if his children were older, he would emigrate. Indirect. He said to me, if I'd taken permission, I'd have left now. Direct. He told me if he'd taken permission he'd have leave then. Indirect. 4. Would, should, ought, had better, might, used to, could. He said, I should be here. Direct. He said that he should be there. Indirect. She said, Elle would help him if I could. Direct. She said that she would help him if she could. Indirect. He said, I might arrive late. Direct. He said that he might arrive late. Indirect. 5. He said just now, no one is allowed to leave. Direct. He said just now that no one is allowed to leave. Indirect. Pay attention to the following. 1. If two complete main clauses are connected with and or but, put that after the conjunction. He said, I saw her but she didn't see me. Direct. He said that he had seen her but that she hadn't seen him. Indirect. 2. If the subject is dropped in the second main clause, the conjunction is followed by a verb, do not use that. She said, I am a nurse and work in a hospital. Direct. He said that she was a nurse and worked in a hospital. Indirect. He said I didn't attend the party. I must apologize. Direct. He said that he hadn't attended the party and added that he had to apologize. Indirect. Think. Know. Complain. Agree. Believe. Indicate. Assert. Claim. I said, I think he looks ill. Direct. I thought he looked ill. Indirect. She said, I believe he will soon get well. Direct. She believed he would soon get well. Indirect. They said, we know what you want now. Direct. They knew what I wanted then. Indirect. She said to him, I had better stay at home tonight. Direct. She told him that she had better stay at home that night. Indirect.